Hi, my name is Sean Bouchard, and I'm a game designer at the University of Southern California. Playing through Papo Yo. We have just sort of reached a really interesting part in the story where a character that we met early on who was a friend and a protector narratively and also mechanically, who sort of gave us some special abilities, just died. And it was sort of heartbreaking. And so I'm really excited to see how the game handles the aftermath of that loss, and how our relationship to Monster continues to develop. It's become apparent that it's a complicated relationship. It's not straightforward in any way. And so one of the first things that I notice as I load up this save, obviously, I recognize a lot of these elements. There's the gears, there's the pulley thing. I've learned how to use these things. There's the kind of symbol that I used to be able to throw Lula at and have him sort of, trigger things at a distance. And of course now I don't have Lula, so I can't do that. I can go up to it. I don't know if I can trigger it myself, but no, I can't. It's, from what I can tell, this is just, this is now a puzzle element that has no purpose anymore because I can't possibly activate it. It's exactly what I was talking about at the end of the last stream. It's an emphasis of the abilities that I've lost along with Lula when I lost that character. It's interesting that there's these like shards of broken dream stuff on the ground. I don't know that I've seen that before. There's something very like the stability of this world is degrading, I think. Like that's as we go further and further, it seems like there are more and more fantasy elements, and those fantasy elements don't seem to be holding together. Now, am I crazy, or is this the same level layout as the very first puzzle in the game? I don't know if it's exactly the same, but that this is so interesting. So, I probably would remember this better if I was playing through the game like straight shot. But it's been a few days since I started playing. But I do very distinctly remember this sort of sequence of pulling out a lever and it sort of creating these steps. And I commented on the curve of those steps. And then coming up and following this same pathway and turning around a corner and there being a ladder. So and obviously, Monster wasn't there. Whether this is exactly the same layout or not, that is clearly very deliberately designed to remind me. Like I have a muscle memory or some kind of like spatial memory of that. Like that's gonna seem familiar to me, even if I don't recognize it as exactly the same level pattern as in the first level at the beginning of the game. But this is definitely, so this is the same, this is exactly the same. And so it's becoming less and less subtle. This is becoming more and more something that I think I am absolutely supposed to recognize. I'm supposed to be relating this back to sort of the beginning of the game. Back before I had Lula, in fact. So, this is, it actually makes me curious if that little, circle symbol thing, the little Lula activation thing, exists in the first level at the beginning of the game. Because obviously at that point I didn't know what that meant or what it was for, because I hadn't met Lula yet.
Lula, nasce donc. Au
Can we bring Lula back? This is still very reminiscent of the first level, except of course, then I run into this entirely white area. Which I'm pretty sure didn't exist before. I don't know what that pipe is. There's a couple of them. They look like the sort of things that, you know, maybe frogs would come out of, which is scary, because frogs are scary. There's something blue. Oh, there's a blue coconut up there. And I remember that the blue coconut is used to calm a monster down when he's raging. Which suggests to me that he's going to be raging in a minute. And actually the entire setup of this level. It's a big open arena. It's got, you know, coconuts scattered around. It's blocked off on this end. All of that suggests to me there's going to be more interaction with monster. I gotta find him. This is the only way that I see to get out. Oh, interesting. So now I have two big wide areas to explore, and I can sort of move between them. This one looks extremely reminiscent of a soccer field, right? Like this is certainly meant to evoke soccer field, especially with the, you know, the ends, the goalpost areas are uniquely designed. Like we haven't seen that kind of design before. They've always been sort of oddly shaped circles or squares. This is rotten fruit. Oh, interesting. If monster eats a frog, look for rotten fruit to calm him down. So I knew that. Like, the game had taught me that fairly well the first time that monster became enraged. Rotten fruit is an interesting descriptor. I don't know that I would have associated, like, that's what I would have called it in my head, just from mechanically how it works. And I wonder what's intended by that. Oh, wow. So it's telling me in much more detail than it ever has before what I need to do to solve this puzzle. So two things need to happen. Each section of the field is like a jar. You can release its contents or trap things in it. Trapping monster in a jar with a frog outside of the jar. Ooh. Okay, so the way that this coconut, this blue rotten fruit, is placed inside of a circle like this, I recognize that as the, like, respawnable fruit areas. Which makes me think that I'm actually going to need to, like, manipulate... That was weird. So I think I'm going to need to manipulate monster's moods. I'm going to need to, like, make him enraged and calm him down, and then make him enraged again. Like, making him enraged is going to be part of the puzzle solving, which is interesting. Like, that's new. So that was a crazy effect. And it made some frogs appear. I don't totally understand the bottle metaphor, though. Because is it a bottle? Like, will he be trapped in it if I go like this? It seems like the frogs are able to jump right out of it. Or is it, but this isn't, like, I can just walk through this. This isn't a bottle. So I think, you know, they were much more explicit in that description than they have been in any of the other hint boxes. I think that's because this is a particularly conceptually challenging puzzle, and my bet would be that they ran some playtests that showed that people had a hard time figuring out exactly what the relationship between elements is. And so it's still not perfectly clear to me what the relationship between elements is, but I have a metaphorical groundwork now. I have a framework, like a conceptual framework to work with. So if I can get monster in there, then I'm going to be thinking about it in terms of bottles and trapping and, you know, something like that, which I think is probably going to make a big difference. Like, having that conceptual framework is going to help me intuit exactly some more of these mechanics than I would otherwise. Is maybe monster actually in one of these? Or I can't quite find how to get to monster, how to get monster up here. There he is. Okay, got it. So shit, there's frogs all over the place. Oh god damn it, he didn't even eat a frog, he just saw a frog. Oh good god. Okay, can I, oh no monster, no. Oh Jesus. Whoops. I couldn't quite tell if I can run faster than him, or if we run at like exactly the same speed. It's something close to that. Like he might, or he might be able to run just like a little bit faster than me, because it certainly felt like I was very near to getting caught, which is good. Which is like that was a good frightening moment, right? That was oh no. So will I make him go away? I can make him go away. Interesting. What about now? Nope, now he's still there. Okay. And now this thing's back. So I can totally like, oh, okay. So I can use the tree. I can bring the tree into this world. There's kind of like a BioShock Infinite thing going on here, right? I can bring the tree into this world in order to get fruit. And I can, you know, move this part of the world back and forth in order to reveal this sort of, oh god. Oh, that's an interesting interaction. We've never had that happen before. It was fairly gentle, but very insistent. Like I didn't feel, well, I felt anxious for a second, but not for long. It didn't seem threatening. And it wasn't. It was just sort of very insistent. Like, you know, he's gonna get that fruit. He's not gonna let you just lead him around forever. Okay, so for anybody who maybe didn't see the last section that I played live, we discovered something about the soccer ball that I want to sort of point out. Didn't realize that I could interact with the soccer ball when I first saw it. But I can, in fact, kick the soccer ball around, and monster will go and get it and throw it back to me. And let me see if I can do this. So I can kick it at him. Oh, no. So I'm probably not going to do this well enough to be able to like to actually do it. But one time I got lucky and caught the soccer ball. Like he threw it back at me and I literally caught it. And it was pretty cool. It was like this really kind of neat feeling. No, it's over my head. I wonder how much, if there's some randomness involved, or if I could like figure out that pattern and get really good at just being in the right place. That was pretty close. I swear that I caught it in my hands. So I don't remember if I was talking about this at the I think in the Q&A last time. I think that this interaction is like really interesting because it's optional, and the game, you know, never taught us how to do this. It never made it clear that I even could interact with the soccer balls, let alone like play catch with Monster. But there's something like really endearing about this interaction, right? I mean, it's you're playing catch with your dad, and it sort of feels like that. And the fact that it's, at least so far, hasn't been a required part of the game, hasn't been the part of any puzzle. It's just been an optional interaction that you can have, and there's kind of a, like, I feel like there's sort of a win condition because I believe that I can catch that ball when he throws it, but there's also just kind of like some play involved in, well, that was also pretty close. I don't know, maybe that's the best I can do. There's some play involved in this, like, back and forth, and the fact that there's no stakes to it, I think is actually, like, really, really super, super interesting. Okay, I'm gonna try to solve this puzzle now. So I did half the thing. The second half of the thing, what was the second half of the thing? Was it the pipe? It wasn't the pipe, was it? I'm glad this hint box was very explicit about the two things that I had to do, because I didn't remember them for more than, 3 minutes. It doesn't tell me what the two things are. Yeah, maybe it does. Oh. Okay, yeah, so it's I did the square on the ground. The other bit is the pipe. But it's actually like it's drawn, oh whoops. It's drawn an angry face on the mouth of the pipe. And I don't know exactly what that means. It suggests it might have something to do with Monster being angry. Like in an angry state, because maybe this is a pipe that frogs come out of. I'm not sure. I'm not certain of that. But I'm gonna try. Okay, I'm gonna try. Oh Jesus, this is scary. If I do this, will you go after the frogs and not me? Nope, you're gonna go after me. You're just gonna chase right after me. Okay. Are you gonna stay here? You get angry. You go charging a little way. But you don't charge it very far. No, you're hanging out right where I am. Okay, if I take this, can I run with it? Nope, you're just gonna snatch it right from me. I can get pretty far away though. Okay, so I'm supposed to put a frog in it. Is that what that means? Oh shit. Oh shit, shit. I forgot. There were, oh! Okay, so there's some things I didn't understand. So one of the things that I didn't understand, although I probably saw it once before, is that as soon as he gets angry, all of the frogs run away. And that's why sort of there were 3 frogs, and then there were no frogs, and now there's no frogs, but as soon as he calms down, the frogs will come out of the pipe again. And I guess that's the other thing, is I didn't sort of put it together that as soon as he calmed down, the frogs were going to come out of the pipe again. So this time I'm going to be there. I'm going to be waiting. I'm going to wait for a frog to come out of the pipe. I'm going to grab the frog. I'm going to put it in the whatever that thing is. Come here, come here. Like that. Maybe it just needs to eat a frog? Is that all? What? What? Was that... Did that have to happen? Shit. That's unclear to me. It's unclear to me if I could have done that smarter. Maybe I could have done that smarter and not gotten caught. I don't like getting caught. I mean, there's not a mechanical consequence, but the narrative consequence of it is so strong, right? I mean, between the dramatic elements of the colors and the music and the sound effects, that, you know, growling, and just the narrative of big giant monster breathing flames coming at you, but also on the metaphorical level, like, you know, oh shit, I didn't turn off the frogs. Come here. There we go. On the metaphorical level of, I understand this to be the story of a boy and his father. You know, I don't want the boy to get caught. It's scary. So it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting that there's a lot that a game can do mechanically to make you feel things. There we go. That felt nice. I mean, maybe it's just I run away from him as fast as I can. And that's the secret. So, you know, mechanically, the game can make me feel things. It can take away Lula, and that hurts mechanically, right? Now all of a sudden, abilities that I used to have, I don't have anymore. I feel that sense of loss. But it can also, it can make me feel things dramatically. And Lula's a great example where it's both. Like it's a harmony of mechanical and systemic and dramatic effects, emotional effects. But some things like getting caught by monster, there's not a systemic consequence to that. There's not like there's not actually a gameplay punishment for it. But you still don't want to do it. Yeah, come with me. Come with me. It's also, it's a little weird how dog-like this relationship is. When we were playing soccer, I was avoiding saying the word fetch, but it felt an awful lot like playing fetch, which maybe isn't inappropriate. And the more that I sort of look at like the way that Monster moves and the way that he acts, there's absolutely something very canine about him. That must be intentional. Oh shit. Alright, what am I trying to do now? I'm trying... Oh! Okay. I should maybe not have brought Monster up here. I might regret that. Like a lot. Maybe I will need to put him back down. That's interesting. What is this door? Oh. It's Portal. So this is a relatively new mechanic. We have seen doorways made out of white light before, but they've always been sort of level breaks or chapter breaks. And now it's actually a mechanic that we're using as part of the puzzle solving. Wow, so it turns out this is a lot easier than the first puzzle, which is weird. You know, I mean, if I was designing this, I feel like I would have done those in the opposite order. I would have sort of had, I would have introduced this one first, and then had you do the other one, because, well, I mean, neither of them introduces the idea of the pipes particularly well, but I feel like the other one, at least I was much more likely to be dealing with that new pipe mechanic under pressure. Uh-oh. What was that sound effect? Oh, that was just the wall coming back up. So, I don't know what's going to happen now. Another beautiful mural, right? Another sort of waypoint. The mural is a weenie for us to come through there. We know that we're going the right way. There's quite a bit of color down here. Like that blue barrel thing, and some lighting effects down there. I don't know. The way that this is shaped, we've been in big, wide open areas, and now we're in sort of a much narrow area. Maybe it's not true, but it feels... No, it's not true. Okay, interesting. This felt, for a moment, a lot like we were going to get chased. And now that that's kind of been seeded in my head, I'm expecting some part of the game is going to be us getting chased down a relatively narrow alleyway. But just the fact that the... Okay, I'm going to do this one more time, because I sort of found this very interesting. A couple things happened. One is, we came through here, and from this perspective, the perspective that we have as we're coming through, first of all, we're given this like beautiful mural. You're going the right way. But the beautiful mural is at a crossroads, and from here it appears that we can go two different directions. So my sense of space at this moment is based on I'm entering sort of a place where I have like choices. I have different directions that I can go, and the size of it's gonna like branch off. I come in and see that yeah, this goes for just a tiny little bit, and then it stops. Like there's a wall. Now all of a sudden my sense of what the space is going to be has been shattered, and I feel much more constrained. I actually feel kind of funneled in a way that I didn't before, and that I wouldn't have if there had just been a wall going directly there that I could see. If I knew that this was just a corner, we've been through lots of corners, but having it open up and reveal that no, this is a dead end makes it feel much more constrained. They're not using that directly right here, but it could be foreshadowing. Right now I'm sort of feeling like it's foreshadowing, and it's the kind of technique that certainly could be used again in the future. Here's our little girl friend. I'm gonna keep looking at the hint boxes, because we've actually, I don't know that it's a coincidence that since we got past the point I had played before, I've become much more reliant on the hint boxes. So remember the fat belly. It's been a while since we used that mechanic. My guess is that some players forgot about it, and it's going to come up. Slightly different symbols point at different directions. Interesting. I don't know what that means. But those are slightly different symbols. Monster's bed will move when pointing in the right direction. So I have to figure out what the right direction is, I guess, and then point the bed that way. Still not 100% sure what that means. Interesting. Interesting. Our interactions with her are interesting as well. And, oh shit, there are frogs. She's making sure that we see the frogs, right? This kind of like, oh god, oh no, and here comes, nope. That's not what I thought would happen. Use my centipede. I thought that was gonna turn around and reveal monster, and there were frogs right there. I mean, every time I see frogs now, I'm anxious about the idea of monster appearing. So I wonder if these symbols, these little glyphs, if they have a mechanical purpose or if they're just used for navigation. I don't think they're navigational. Gosh, it is trying hard. So, I mean, this is actually a really sort of interesting note. The game, through that little cutscene sequence, that little movie where it lit stuff up and the camera moved around, it's trying really super hard to teach me something about the relationship between these different elements that I've never seen before. And it's not very effective. I still don't know what's going on. Like, I know there are glyphs, and I know there are circles, and these circles are connected by lines. I know that the glyphs are slightly different in different directions, and that I have to somehow align Monster's bed properly, and something about a centipede. But I don't yet understand that relationship. You know, how I'm going to use the glyphs, or what the centipede is. Or what it actually means for them to indicate different directions. Oh, I can step on them. So, oh, curious. Okay, so now it's showing me some more things. Now, my point is that I needed to interact. Like, it's through the interaction that I'm actually, like, coming to understand how these elements are related. So it's important for the game. Oh, gosh, it's like a ship. Doesn't it kind of look like a trireme or something? Like, it's got a very, I don't know. I'm gonna push it. So, there's only tutorials are really hard, is my point. Teaching a player how dynamics work through text or video is extremely hard. Usually text and video are used to prime the player, to to get them into a frame of mind that they're going to be sort of, a frame of mind that will be conducive to then experimenting with the actual like mechanical elements of the game, which is exactly what I'm doing now. Like so I still don't totally understand how this puzzle works. I've seen some things and I've read some things, and those things have basically primed me. They've given me an indication of how I should be thinking, and now I am going to experiment by actually playing around with the elements that I don't understand, and seeing what happens. If I put a certain input into the system, what's the output? Can I control this at all? It's unclear if I was controlling that. I still don't know if I was controlling that. But I also... I lost my ship. I lost my, like, pulley thing. I can't tell if I put him into a... Like, was that lucky? Was it lucky that I positioned him in exactly the right place so that I could do that? Or did I have no control over it? Did it just do it? It's not clear to me. I mean, even though I was interacting with it, I'm so unfamiliar with the system. I don't know what buttons I was pressing had an effect and what buttons didn't have an effect. It kind of felt like I was moving him back and forth, maybe using the arrow keys. I don't think I was using the mouse. The mouse didn't seem to do anything. But the arrow keys might have. Okay, so now, but that was a very short distance, and it wasn't a lot of time for me to experiment. Now I'm gonna try experimenting more, and it looks like, yes, left and right, like my left and right directional keys have an effect, but they don't have a lateral effect. They just they continue me forward or backward. Which is kind of like super confusing. I mean, I guess the benefit of that is that I can press any button and I'll see an effect. But it also means that, like, you know, I thought those lateral buttons were doing something, and they were doing something. It just wasn't what I thought they were doing. 'Cause I'm not, you know, it's weird conceptually to me to have those sides, left and right buttons mapped to a non-lateral movement. Oh! Okay. And now I understand. So here's what's happening, if anybody hasn't figured it out. Maybe you guys are all way smarter than me. So I'm going to want to turn the boat around to go in presumably this direction. To do that, I'm gonna want to light up this sigil, which is, you know, to the right of a curly one, and it's really long and extended. But I can't light it up from here. I have to go back to the main area where all of these sigils are and light it up here. So I think it's this one. There's a curly, and then this one's really long and extended. So I'm gonna light that up, and I think that's gonna rotate the boat around. So now it's pointing the direction that I wanted it to point. Yeah. So this is a really interesting puzzle. Like this is a cool effect, I think. Now that I understand it, I'm really enjoying it. But it's interesting how long it took. I mean, so frankly, it didn't take that long. That was actually probably like really nicely balanced. If I wasn't stopping to talk, and like look at stuff. I mean, not look at stuff, but like, you know, if I wasn't going at a Sean Bouchard Let's Play pace, then I think I would have figured that out really quickly, and it would have been really satisfying. I mean, it is satisfying. It felt satisfying to do. Okay, I'm gonna push him this direction. Oh shit, that's where the frogs are. Can I not do the frogs yet? Is there more that I can do before the frogs? Or are frogs the thing? Like, I could maybe get up there, but this is just gonna take me back into this area. I think for no apparent reason, they just gave me sort of 2 paths to get to here. And now that I'm here, the only thing that I can do is take him to where the frogs are, which is terrifying. Okay, so this is kind of like a half curl. I wonder why there were 2 paths there. It gives you a moment of choice here, like to start off, which might actually really improve the feel of this puzzle. Like if at this point I don't quite know how the puzzle works. If there were only one direction to go, it might feel a little constrained. Whereas when there are 2 directions, even if the 2 directions aren't especially meaningful, it's more interesting. I did the right one. Oh, I didn't even mean to do that. Okay, great. When there's 2 directions, it feels like I'm making a choice that is potentially meaningful. There's more of a sense of sort of adventure and exploration to what I'm doing. Even though then, you know, eventually it won't matter which way I went. You know, that illusion of choice can be really important. And, you know, depending on what kind of game you're making, frequently you don't want to have all of your choices be illusory. That can be unsatisfying. But it creates different effects. Gosh, I don't know if I was supposed to go somewhere, because I'm safe here, but I don't really see where I go from here. Except I think that, oh no, it's not that way. Oh shoot. Where, isn't there a small, yeah, okay. Can you fit through there? Are you gonna come after me? I guess you're not gonna come after me. I'm trying to get the boat here. That's what that is. Got it. Alright. See, the first time I saw this, it was meaningless to me, but now I'm back here again. It's clear that that's the boat. So, question is, how on earth do I get the boat here? How on earth, in fact, do I get out of here without going through Monster? Do I have to go through Monster? Alright, go, 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 go. Run, run, run. We're gonna find out who's faster. No, don't go that way. Go this way. Oh, God, don't change direction. Okay. Go this way. Just keep going. These steps appear because they have to. Are there still frogs in play? And if so, can he find them from where he is? And if not, will they come back? It looks like no. I don't see a frog pipe, which I think means they don't come back. Which is interesting. So now I think I just need to solve this puzzle again, which is strange. I just need to do the same thing a second time. I wonder if there's a way that I could have avoided that. Was there some way to not go through the area where the frogs were? Doesn't seem like it. Seems like that was an obstacle on my path. Was there some way to get rid of the frogs beforehand? This is the long one next to the curly. Maybe I could have picked them up and put them somewhere else. I don't know. It's not clear to me that I could have done that. Certainly, I could have, you know, if I had realized what was coming and/or thought through it more, I could have made it back to the blue coconut before he caught me. Like, that didn't need to happen. And so I feel a little like I messed up there. But there's something kind of fundamental to this puzzle that just feels weird. Like I got the satisfaction of solving it. Like that was great. That felt really good. Doing literally the same thing a second time isn't giving me a lot of satisfaction. I guess this is more like a, oh, it's a centipede. Got it. I'm really, really good at interpreting video games, guys. Is that a centipede head though? Is that a thing? Like, what is that? What is that at the front? Okay. All right. I'm not gonna get down on myself. That's the kind of mistake that could happen to anybody. Boats, centipedes. I did not look, did I? I don't know what direction it's supposed to go. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess this direction. And we'll see how right I am. Wish me luck. So, I'm gonna partially blame that, honestly, on the fact that, oh yeah, good. I'm gonna partially blame that on the fact that I just like ran through the same puzzle a second time. Like I kind of stopped paying attention to what I was doing because I had already done it once. On the other hand, it was kind of nice, like, you know, the way that they set it up. It was always a different sigil that I needed, and spatially I could kind of keep track of approximately what direction I was supposed to be going in. So it was possible to guess. I think that's a watery sound and not an insecty sound. That sound effect, I'm gonna stick with that. Okay. We're saving a checkpoint. I'm gonna stop the stream for just a minute, and then I will be back. See you in a minute.